Duplicate the keys. Ain't shit sweet, got so they and my youngin' to the sweet. This a whole nother way, boy. Tell the business fuck up the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here preach. They come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go to tree. Come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go to tree. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go to tree, boy. The shit is too weak. I'm gonna go, but they don't believe. You know I'm winning with the team.
Hey, yo, Shkata.
Hey, Shkata, what's going on, Shabbat, y'all?
What's going on, Kay, out of war? Going to walk?
Yeah.
What's out there?
Keep it all to the T. Duplicate the keys. Ain't shit sweet, got so they and my youngin' to the sweet. This a whole nother way. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here preach. They gon' do all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go tree. Come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go tree. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go tree. My business, I'm for real with it. I keep the street put on my peoples in the field with it. It's always kind of just got the Uncle Phil with it. And my pockets on the move, I can steal with it. I speak true cause it's necessary. Color check revolutionary. Cold on like January. Commanding tenor to the visionary. No food, no sweets. Your preach man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's war time for people. That you hard, nigga, you ain't. But with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up, build race. We run bad this rap shit. All black, no white shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on that cap shit. I can't go to the table. Duplicate 7 keys. Ain't shit sweet, got so they and my youngin' to the sweet. This a whole other way. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go to tree. Come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go to tree. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black, color jack, man. All the niggas go to tree, boy.
Being white underneath the game, make it straight out of one question. Contest to the best to the niggas who's living trying to compete with the stress. Going through the test, no access. Country compressed slaves. Niggas is dying off the way. Living in dirt, now it's a break. Niggas cross walking across walking with a white chalk from the bodies of folks that you made. Americans killing us, saying they killing us, took drugs for the hood. Now my niggas delirious, put a gun in my face. All because of my race, quick, cool flags. This is students of murder my ass. Like a chief in the slaughter, I'm getting harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never did when we water. So now we pray to the Father. Get straight to the Father, there's only full of the water. It's taking our dogs, nigga, it's more time. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light for that ass, yeah, no time. You can boot up, shut up, but get your ass up. Cause we ain't got time to be playing. It's all fucked up America. Nothing for the thief, deal for the slave. People with the smoke, we need giving back what you gave. Boy, things with trying to imitate if you was all fake America. Every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
Time out, giving the one to expose what you can see. Five, give my one shit. We get lost, pass out, so we minute. That's out. But we get it, we can crash fine. Get a simple with the feeling that your last mind. But we'll confuse your bad mind. Get shame, this thing's a plane when the chair's fly. Bombs from the sky, rich double lullaby. Giving it a fly, but we got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich double lullaby. While I live from the fallout, all our warfare, nightmares, and the house and murder for years, and making sure I'm turn around high and learn from these motherfucking birds out here in the streets. Told them to preach to all of you angels, bring hope to this beats. You room for time, but we play for keeps. I pray that my father bring hope to this beats. Remember them times we hung on the trees. All of you nations are down to your knees. Remember the shit, the bars and the fleets. Fuck they rock, remember the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire. You got to see something in this place. You think that fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something about you. You got to put on your streets now, man. Put back on your street and look back, man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
All right. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. Right, we're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. And we teach so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians your true identity according to the Bible and according to archaeology, you understand? According to history, you know what I'm saying? So we don't just use, the Bible is our number one reference book, but we do match the Bible up because the Bible is also a history book. We match it up with the things that's happened in history, the prophecies that's in the Bible. We match that right along up with history, and then we match up the archaeology of the things that's been found to prove that we was in the land of Israel. You understand? So again, I'm priest and officer of 500 Shabbat Allah, holding down the Wednesday night law class. Dolo Solo. I got my brother Kayada War. You know what I'm saying? He gonna rock it out with me, man. You got any questions, man? Just type them in the chat, comments, type them in the chat. We're not the Christian church, man. You can ask questions in here, man, because we understand our people been lied to, you know what I'm saying, the last 500 years about our identity and about who we really are. You know what I mean? Monday nights, every Monday, we got the history and scripture breakdown class. Every Tuesday night, we got the brotherhood class. Every Wednesday night, I teach the law class. Thursday night, scripture breakdown class. And Friday night is the Lashawan Kodash, which means holy tongue. You know what I mean? It teaches our original language, which is Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? We got English whooped into our vocabulary. But before they did that, we spoke Hebrew. We are the Hebrew Israelites. If you so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, I'm talking about Negroes, Haitians, Jamaicans, Trinidad, Tobago, Venezuelan, Guatemalan, Brazilian, Native Indians, Dominican, Puerto Rican, you belong to the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. We are God's chosen people, according to the Bible. And the Bible was only written to the children of Israel. It was written by the Israelites to the Israelites. And more you start reading the Bible, you'll start seeing that it say, when like Moses speak unto the children of Israel, or to say something about the children of Israel. But you got to ask yourself a very, very important question. Who are the children of Israel? Well, come to find out, under Commandant General Yohana and ISUPK, he's taught us our true identity according to these scriptures, man. So we got to, you know, it would behoove you to log into our classes. It's even better to come in person. But if you, I understand, you know, black people got a lot of fear. You understand? But the Bible said we're not supposed to live in a spirit of fear. But nonetheless, tune into our classes, man, so you can learn your true identity according to the Bible. All right, what we're going to do right now, we're going to go into the first scripture that we bring out every class, in the beginning of every class. You know what I'm saying? We go to this bedrock 1 West ISUPK scripture, man. If you would, Officer Kayada War.
Yeah.
We're going to read Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Because we're going to prove through the scriptures, not through what we saying, we're going to prove through the scriptures about who we really are. And the topic of my class tonight is going to be on Deuteronomy 28, how Deuteronomy 28 fits blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians condition. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by condition, the hellish conditions we've been living in, man. You know what I'm saying? We the first fired and the last hired. You know what I mean? But we're gonna before we do that, before we get into the topic, we're gonna go into Zephaniah, and it's gonna give us a remedy of what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to do in these last days. You got that, Ottawa?
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
Oh, what?
O nation not desired.
Y'all hear that? It's saying, it's telling somebody, a specific people. God is giving an order to a specific people off top. Off top, he said, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. So off top, that's order. He's giving us an order to gather ourselves together. Black and brown, gather yourselves together. But this is how you know it's talking about blacks and Hispanics, because it says, O nation not desired. Now you can't just read past that. You gotta look on the earth and look at the nation that's not desired. I mean, you got the Mexicans over there on the border. You know what I mean? They calling them rapists and murderers and gangbangers. You know what I mean? They got them on the border. They got them in barrios, man. Look at the Native Indians, man, over there on them reservations, drunk out their mind, man, because they are an oppressed people, man. Look at Negroes, man, in ghettos, man. You understand? With the crack epidemic and the guns, man. Don't that look like we are not desired in this place? You understand? So it's talking to a people who are not desired. We the first fired, man. We the last hired, but the first fired. We got to put our hands up to another nation and tell them our lives matter. We got to tell them, put our hands up again and say, hands up, don't shoot. That sounds like a people that's not desired here in America, man. Here in this earth, man. You can't say it's the Africans. The Africans got their own land. Africans ain't over here getting. How many Africans you see with their hands up talking about hands up, don't shoot? Well, African lives matter. Africans not getting shot down. They're shot down in the streets. Niggas is. You understand? Read that again from the top, Baba Kashab.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. What does the word nation mean? The word nation means race. Race of people that's not desired. The word nation comes from nationality. What's your nationality? So if somebody asks you what's your nationality, they ask you what's your race. You understand? Well, come to find out, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians belong to the same race. We are the same nation of people. We are the nation of Israel, the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? So it would behoove you to get in our classes so you can learn these things, man. You can learn that so-called blacks are not African Americans, man. You know what I mean? Puerto Ricans are not Puerto Ricans. According to the Bible, if you so-called black, if your ancestors came over here on those cargo transatlantic slave trade ships from the west coast of Africa, and let me tell you this, just because they got us from the west coast of Africa don't mean we Africans. Well, we was slaves under the Africans. That's how we was over there in Africa. We were slaves under them first. If I go to a corner store and buy a banana, do that mean that banana was grown in that store? Or did they transport it to that store and then sold it? Well, that's just what happened to us. You understand? So without further ado, man, we're gonna get right on into the topic, man. We're gonna bring out these curses, man. We're gonna see who's that nation that's not desired. And let me tell you something, man. The Most High told us if we were to obey his law, statutes, and commandments, man, he would bless us, man. Well, but he told us if we disobeyed his law, statutes, and commandments, he would curse us. And the book of Deuteronomy is full of blessings, but it's also full of curses, man. And we're going to get down into them, man. We're going to do something at the Christian church. And let me say something else right quick, sidebar. The Israelite School of UPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, is not affiliated with any other fake Israelite group, with any Christian church, any Muslim mosque, or any religious institution. We stand alone, bringing out the truth according to this Bible, man. The King James Version Bible. If you ain't got a King James Version, you need to go ahead and throw that away. You understand? All them new translations and you A New King James? No, it got to be the King James Version Bible, because the King James Version Bible is the closest translation to the Torah. You understand? The Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, it translates word for word. You understand? The other Bibles, they just done took and revamped the words to make them modern words, man. You can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. The King James Version is just translated, you know what I mean, directly from the Greek, and the Greek was directly translated from the Hebrew. That's what King James, a black man, did. You know what I'm saying? King James was black. But without further ado, we're gonna get on into this topic, man. If you could, Adawan, could you get Deuteronomy chapter 28? We're gonna start at verse 1. The whole class gonna be pretty much on breaking down Deuteronomy, but I may go, precept, here and there, maybe in Genesis or something like that. Again, this is the Wednesday night law class, so I will be teaching the law. The Old Testament is the law. You got to get out them Christian churches, because what do they say? The law is done away with. The law is not done away with. We got to keep all the laws, meaning we can't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Why? Because in the Old Testament, it tells us that those foods are abomination. Pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster are abominations. You know what I mean? If you got any questions, type them in the chat. We'll get to you. If you would, Baba Kashab.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
Wait right there. Pause right there. It's saying it shall come to pass that if thou shalt hearken diligently. Do anybody in the class know what the word hearken means? I'll give y'all a few seconds. If you know what the word hearken means, just type it in the chat. It said, it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently. We got to know what the word hearken means. In the Israelite school of UPK, we break down everything, man. You understand? So you can understand it. The word, and for time's sake, hearken, the sister Jessica said to come. The word hearken means to listen. That's what but I like your participation, sis. You know what I'm saying? But the word hearken means to listen. So could you read that from the top again so you'll understand it this time? So when you hear the word hearken, just replace it with listen. Go ahead, Baba Kashab.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
You see, if you will listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, you see, if we listen to these laws, statutes, and commandments that's written right here in the Old Testament, keep reading.
To observe.
To what?
To observe.
Now, what do it mean to observe? And when I ask these questions, I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence or anything like that. This is a class. This ain't the Christian church where we beat tamarines and become master guitarists, and master drummers. We ask questions. I'm the teacher of the class tonight, so I'm gonna ask questions. And you just to your best of your ability, y'all try to answer them. Also, write these scriptures down. And then if any Christians in here, you go back to church, ask your Christian pastor why he never break these scriptures right here down. So do anybody know what it means to observe? Because right here, before that, it said if we would hearken diligently, meaning if we would listen to the voice of the Lord our God. Then it say to observe. So not only are we supposed to listen, we're supposed to observe. To observe something is to watch. You understand? Like if you're observing something, I'm watching something. There you go, sis. That's right. Get a sister a hand. The sister Jessica Harris, she said to watch. That's absolutely correct, sis. Keep reading, Baba Kashab.
And Salakia, Shabayal, if I may add, too.
Absolutely.
To observe means to acknowledge. Like how
right.
In this society, they might be like, well, we're going to close down the bank in observation of this day. So to acknowledge.
Right. That's right too. Because a lot of words, you know what I'm saying, it has different meanings, but that pretty much means the same thing as to watch, to observe something. If I tell somebody to observe how I dribble this basketball, I'm telling them to watch me closely. You know what I'm saying? So why? So they can learn how to dribble the basketball the way I do it. That's what coaches do. They tell the basketball players to observe, watch me. You know what I'm saying? Do it, because we got something in ISUPK called Hebrew Academy. And what we do is we observe what the instructor tell us to do. Observe what the instructor tell us to do. You know what I'm saying? Or like, let me see, what's another good way to observe something? We got a high holy day called Passover. We got a lot of high holy days. And not only are we supposed to, be celebrating and all that, but we're supposed to observe watch what actually happened to our people, man. Acknowledge what actually happened to our people, like Officer Kayada War said. He brought out a strong point. You acknowledging something, man. You going back to look at the history and acknowledge that something happened. You know what I mean? Or you acknowledging or you're watching how something was done. So that's excellent points that the officer and the sister brought out. Keep reading, Baba Kashar.
God. To observe and to do.
And to what?
And to do.
You see that? To observe something, that means you're going to watch, and then you're going to turn around, and then you're going to do what you watched. What you acknowledged, you're going to turn around and do it. Keep reading.
And to do all his commandments.
And to what?
And to do all his commandments.
Now, to do some of them.
All his commandments.
Now, the law is done away with.
To do all his commandments.
This say to do all his commandments, man. Keep reading.
Which I command thee this day.
You see that? That proves right there that it's more than 10 commandments. Because he just said to do all the commandments, which I command thee this day. Commandments, the root word of commandment is command. He just commanded us to keep all the commandments. It's more than 10. The Christian church would love to tell us that it's only 10 commandments, and that is a lie. You understand? That's a lie. Like it's a sin to be a homosexual, but you don't see in the 10 commandments, thou shalt not be a homosexual.
Well,
but we know that it's against God's laws. So that just proves, man, you got to come up out that Christian church, man, because you're learning how to be a homosexual. You're learning how to break God's laws in the Christian church, because they teach that the laws is done away with. If the law, and all the laws, not all of them, but the Old Testament is the book of the laws. Now, if the laws are done away with, why do they still take tithes? Because that's in the Old Testament. That's in the law in the Old Testament. You understand? They cherry pick which laws they want to keep. But what did this just say about which laws? How many laws does it say keep?
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
He said to do all the commandments, man. Keep reading.
That the Most High, thy power, will set thee high, Salaki, will set thee on high above all nations.
He will do what?
Will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So he just said that he would set us on high above all nations. That's what the Most High said. So why are we fighting for equality and to be equal with the other nations and thinking that we all just one big human race, when the Lord just said, he's talking to a specific people. He said, because if you go back into the beginning of Deuteronomy, matter of fact, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go to Deuteronomy 1:1 so you can get context of who this book, the whole book is talking to. That'd be a good idea. So if y'all could hold your finger right there, we're gonna go back to 28. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1 so we can go get context and see who this whole book is written to. If you would, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto who?
all Israel.
Now to all nations on the planet.
Unto all Israel.
Now to Africans.
Unto all Israel.
This don't say it's talking to all people. It's talking to all of Israel. So now who is Israel? The children of Israel is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So it's talking to us and only us. This is the law. The Bible is not for everybody. It's only for all Israel. So let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And if we start where you read that last line from, Baba Kasha.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high.
Oh, right there. It'll set thee on what?
On high.
On what?
On high.
So it didn't say get high. It said he's gonna set you on high. We out here getting high. He didn't say if you observe all these commandments, you can roll up zaza and loud and strong and get high. He said he was gonna set you on high, meaning he was gonna put you above all the other nations. I don't read where it say if you keep all the commandments, you can get high. He said he's gonna set you on high. Keep reading.
Right. Set thee on high above all nations.
Above all nations. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Remember in Zephaniah when it said, "Oh, nation not desired"? You want to know why we that nation not desired? Because we don't keep his commandments.
Well,
so he's not going to put us above all the other nations. He's going to put the other nations above us. We on the bottom of society because we don't keep all his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. You understand? You ever wonder why the Caucasian race hate us so much? Why you got Chinese people in our neighborhoods selling us chicken? You got the Arabs at all the 7-Elevens. You understand? And all the East Indians with all the Dunkin' Donuts. All these other nations got businesses in our neighborhoods, man.
Wow.
Because the Most High set all the other nations above us. Because he told his children, the children of Israel, specifically, to obey him, man, to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. But we so disobedient. We so stiff-necked. We hard-headed people, man. Stiff-necked means to be hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? This is how you know the Bible is written by black people to black people, man. Because we don't do nothing that it say. Sure. Now, we know black people are hard. When I say black, I'm talking about all 12 tribes. In case y'all didn't know, the Mexicans, the Native Indians, the Guatemalans, the Brazilians, the Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, they are all black. You understand? Keep reading. Matter of fact, let's read that again because that's heavy right there. Just that one verse alone is heavy because that debunks when everybody be like, well, we all equal. All equal created. What's the America's little they little thing they say in they little what you do when they cross their little heart? I pledge allegiance to the flag that all nations under. Man, get out of here with that garbage, man. When they wrote the Declaration of Independence, we was on the bottom of slave ships, man. Wow. We were slaves, man. Defecating on each other. You understand? Throwing up. The women was having their menstrual cycles on top of each other, man. We wasn't equal then, and we ain't equal now. Wow. Unless y'all forget about Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, Keith Scott, Emmett Till. We are not equal, man. You understand? They just convicted R. Kelly, and what he did was filthy and disgusting, man. But if they gonna convict R. Kelly, guess what? They need to convict these homosexuals too, the LGBT community, pushing that homosexuality on our children, man. That's who need to be convicted. You want to know who need to be convicted? Ronald and Nancy Reagan for being the biggest trap stars known to man.
That's right.
Black people ain't trap stars, man. The real gangsters and mobsters are the Caucasians. The Italians, Caucasians, we trying to be like them. When Scarface came out, that's when we tried to emulate them, man. You understand? You got niggas walking around with Italian names, calling themselves the Don. You know what I'm saying? How you the Don and you live in the projects, eating government cheese? Now, I ain't talking down on you, because I was right there eating that government cheese right beside you.
Well,
You understand? Still looking for some food stamps. You know what I'm saying? You read it again, Baba Kashal?
yeah, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass.
Now, what shall come to pass? Now, this is the book of Deuteronomy. This Bible was written over 6,000 years ago. So when it says this shall come to pass, ain't it coming to pass right now, even in the last days? Ain't we, are we above all nations? No, we're not. You want to know why? Because we are not keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. When they say this shall come to pass, that means, it's for sure going to happen.
That's right.
But it's not going to happen until we come back and learn how to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And it's only one place on the planet that you can learn how to obey and keep all God's laws, statutes, and commandments. It's called the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under Commanding General Yohana, who follows Christ. You understand? Who follows Yahushua. That's Jesus' real name, Yahushua. And in case y'all didn't know, Jesus is a black man from the tribe of Judah. We are the real Jews. Little sidebar. Keep reading.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
If thou shalt listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning we got to listen. How do you listen to the voice of the Lord thy God? These scriptures. You be taught these scriptures correctly by real priests and prophets of the Lord, man. Who are real priests and prophets of the Lord? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that come into the ISUPK and be taught how to teach. You can't just pick up this Bible and read it and think you TD Jakes. You know what I'm saying? That's what TD Jakes did. We call them TD Snakes.
Right.
Creflo Dollar. Those are false prophets. Your uncle and your auntie, all of them, false prophets. A woman ain't even supposed to be teaching no Bible. First of all, that's against the commandments of God for a woman to teach the Bible. It's against God's commandments for anybody to pick up this Bible and to think that they can teach it. It was commanded to us that the only way that you're going to get to the Most High is through his son Christ. And how do you get to the Most High? Through his son Christ. You follow Christ. So the only way to follow Christ is to be what? Born again. How do you be born again? You be taught. You throw away all the Christianity and all the Islam and all the doctrine and philosophies you've been taught, and you come into ISUPK and learn for the first time in your life, as if you was a newborn baby. That's how you become born again. You're not going up in some Christian church, raising your hand up to the ceiling and raising the roof and talking about Christ died and rose on the third day. Christ died and rose on the third day so you can eat pork. That's what you telling me? So Christ died and rose on the third day, and you can stand in the line and confess with your mouth that he did that and go home and be the filthiest whore known to man? Is that what you're telling me? Nah. The Lord said you have to keep his commandments, but you got to learn what those commandments are first.
Well,
you can't learn them reading this Bible as if it's some Playboy magazine or as if it's a novel. You understand? You got to be taught. You see how thoroughly I'm breaking the scripture down? And we're going to go through Deuteronomy, but I'm not speeding. Speed for what? My people are destroyed out here, man. We need to be taught correctly, man. I came into the UPK, man. I was taught correctly, man, by men who knew these scriptures, man. Men who told me to shut my mouth and get it all black. You understand? And come in here and learn how to obey God, man. You understand? Keep reading.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
It shall come to pass if you listen diligently to the Most High. Go ahead.
To observe.
To watch. To acknowledge. Read.
And to do.
And to what?
And to do.
Now to sing melodies in heaven.
And to do.
Now to go stand up and raise your hand in the prayer line and say, I confess with my mouth.
And to do.
Confessing with your mouth ain't doing something. You're giving lip service. To do something is your deeds. Read.
And to do all his commandments. Which I command thee this day. That the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations.
Will set thee on the earth, man. Oh, man, that was heavy right there. Then it said above all nations of the earth. You know what that means? God is not equal. He don't believe in equality.
Wow.
God got order. You understand? And if we, as the children of Israel, because that's who Deuteronomy is talking to, you know, Moses was an Israelite from the tribe of Levi. Today, that would be Haitians. Kodak Black is from the tribe of Levi. I don't know if we know it or not. Where you think the book of Leviticus come from? The tribe of Levi. They was the priests when we was in our land. We're not in our land no more. It's been occupied by Caucasians and Arabs. The Arabs call themselves Palestinians, and the Caucasians call themselves Jewish people, Israelis. The word Israeli ain't in the Bible.
Sure.
The word Jewish ain't in the Bible either. Christ was a Jew. Ish, the ISH means to be like. So you know what they telling us off top? They know they're not the real Jews.
Wow.
They say they converted to Judaism. Judaism is a false religion, just like Christianity. My identity being a Jew ain't no religion. The word Jew comes from tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah today would be so-called Negroes. And we have no clue who we are.
Wow.
You don't think it peculiar that we just so happen to jump and run the fastest and jump the high? We can jump over a damn 10-story building running from the police. Don't ask me how I know. Don't ask me how I think. Not that I used to run from the police. You know what I'm saying? Thank the Most High I came into the truth. We'll put it like that. Moving on. Keep reading.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee.
And all these what?
Blessings.
So you mean to tell me if we keep all these commandments, blessings gonna come on us? Because it didn't just say just keep them. It say observe them and do them. You can say you keeping the commandments all you want to, but are you really? You understand? Don't think the Most High don't see everything you do, because he do. It's angels around us all day, every day, reporting everything that we do, and they taking a report back to the Most High, whether it be good deeds or evil, wickedness. Don't think you're getting away with nothing. You understand? Don't nobody see me smoking this blunt, this black, this hookah, this cigarette. Don't nobody, your man ain't got to know, baby girl. He ain't got to know nothing. Oh, they made a song. This is how you know we the children of Israel. The Bible says we're stiff-necked people. And the Bible tells us that we can't sleep with our brother's women. What kind of songs we making? The woman say, I got a man. The man turned around and say, what your man got to do with me? You remember that song, Out of War? She told him off top, I got a man. The brother say, what your man got to do with me? I say, good night. Surely he'll Israelite. Because he don't care about keeping the law. Man, but we must keep the law, man. This is why we number one. And I'm gonna get to the curses. Let's just stick on the blessings right now. Because we are not a blessed people, man. Like God gave us the talents. We run the fastest, jump the highest. We the best cooks. We look the best. Our women got the biggest backsides. You understand? We got the best women on the planet.
Right.
You understand? We built America. We built Egypt. We built every empire on the planet as slaves. When we gonna build our own empire, man? We ain't gonna do that till we come back and learn how to keep all the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's just straight up. And it's gonna get to that in these curses in the book of Deuteronomy. I'm kind of overstepping. I'm kind of moving too fast right now. But these scriptures gonna break down how these other nations, you know what I'm saying, was able to be on top of us. Go ahead, read.
And Salakia, Shabbat Yah, if I could.
Absolutely.
Say one thing about the scripture that you pulled
Uh-huh.
out about the blessings, right?
Uh-huh.
Like how the scripture just say, if we observe and do all these commandments, the Most High will set thee high above all nations on the earth. It says
Right.
here that, and these blessings will overtake us, right? Meaning
God.
these rewards. I mean, just like any father or parent has a child, they might reward their child with
Right.
car for graduating or whatever, the Xbox or whatever. But in this case, the Most High said He'll reward us with rulership.
Come on, come on.
Our planet Earth, and all we have
Yeah.
to do is obey Him and do what He says to do, and He'll reward us and reward
That's
us.
right.
Like how the Bible said how the earth was made for our sake. So,
Whose sakes?
our sake. So,
Who's our?
us, Israel.
That's right. Get that brother a hand, man. Get that brother a hand, man. And what the brother said is right, and it's so heavy. The earth was made for our sakes, the children of Israel. Who is the children of Israel? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Keep reading. Baba Kashar.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee.
Now, all these blessings will come on us if we keep all the Most High's laws, if we listen and observe and do and keep all His laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep reading.
And overtake thee.
Man, He was going to bless us, man. He was going to put us above all the other nations instead of talking about we all just one big human race. What they love to say, what the Christian pastors all love to say. Come on, y'all. God love everybody. We all bleed red. Guess what? A baboon bleed red. Do that make me a baboon? No, it don't. Keep reading.
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
There you go again, that word hearken. If thou shalt listen, like DJ Khaled say, he a heathen. I don't give a damn about DJ Khaled. But if listen, hearken is what we used to say before we learned English. You know what I mean? Hearken. You know what I mean? That's a poetic word right there. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city.
You see that? Blessed shalt thou be in the what?
In the city.
Man, are we blessed in the city? Last time I checked, George Floyd got shot down in the city. Last time I checked, we got to have protests to tell other nations our life matter. We're not blessed in the city. We don't own our own businesses in the city, and if we do, it's a small amount of us. We're working in somebody else's businesses in the city. You see? I want to go into a city. We're going into Chinatown to buy they nasty. They bat, cat, rat, and dog. I want to go into a black city that's ran by black people like it was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We used to have a city ran by us then, and what did the Most High allow these heathens to do? Bomb it to piss. Bombed it down, man. Killed what we had going on. Why? Because the Most High wasn't going to allow us to prosper because we wasn't keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments.
Well,
keep reading.
Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
So not only if we would listen to the Most High, would we be blessed in the city, which we're not right now. We will be blessed in the field. We're not blessed in the field. In fact, we call field niggas. Didn't they? Ain't that what they call us?
Well,
A field. We field niggas, man.
well,
Ain't that what the slave called? The ones that worked in the house was what? House niggas. You understand? We're not blessed in the field. Who out there picking all the cotton? Who out there picking all the sugar cane, man? Who out there picking to this very day all your strawberries and your vegetation and your vegetables? Your Mexican brothers and sisters, man. You understand? Your Jamaicans, your Trinidad and Tobago, the Native Indians, man.
well,
Puerto Rican, we out there picking all your cotton, man, and picking all your food, planting the seeds. We not blessed. But this say that we will be blessed in the city and in the field. We don't own no land. How we blessed? We're not blessed in the field. This is telling us specifically, man, we got to obey the Most High if we want to be blessed. Because it's giving us all the blessings.
well.
Later on, we're going to get to the curses. But right now, man, we need to get these blessings, man.
That's right.
The Most High want to bless us, but just like Officer K. Out of War said, like a good parent, if your kid go get straight A's, you're going to reward that child. But if that kid go to school and bring shame to your household, bring shame to us as a nation, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, us as a people, bring shame to us. He does not deserve a reward. He deserves a punishment.
Well,
I call it a boot. Listen, listen. I pray y'all understand what I mean by I call it a boot, because that boot is going somewhere. Back in the day, we used to call it kick somebody behind. You see what I'm saying? Back in the day, we used to call it a good old butt whooping. You understand? Keep reading.
verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Now, when it say blessed shall be blessed shall be the fruit of thy body. What's the fruit of your body? Do anybody know? I'll give y'all 5 seconds, and I'll give it to you for time's sake. Do anybody know what the fruit of your body is? I'll let y'all just type it in the chat. It say, blessed shall be the fruit of the body, thy body. Come on, Israel, give it a shot. We in class, ain't we? This ain't the Christian church where we rent and rave for 2, 3 hours, 5 hours, say have a concert and don't let the people interact. Meanwhile, they the one that's paying all the money to that pimp called the pastor. Say it, preacher. Man, listen, he ain't saying nothing. What is he saying? Is he saying what we saying right here? You know what I'm saying? Hey, give that sister a hand, man. Give Jessica Harris a hand. Hey, sis, you're in the school, because that is excellent. You gotta be in the school to know that answer right there. That sister got to be in the school, man. Good work, sis. That's what the fruit of your body is. Your offspring, your children. Your body produce what? We call it, that's my seed.
Well,
you know what I mean? That's how you know the Bible was written by black people. We call our children what? Our seeds. The fruit of your body. You know what I'm saying? Your children. Excellent, sister. Keep reading.
and the fruit of thy ground.
And the fruit of thy ground is going to be blessed. You understand? Is the fruit of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians ground blessed? How? We ain't got no ground. We're on the ground that was stolen from the Native Indians. Now is American soil. We're not even we're not in our homeland. So how is our ground blessed? But God said he would have blessed our ground. He would have blessed our fields. You understand? We plant seeds. He would have gave us a harvest, man. We would have harvested, man. Plentiful, man. The Lord want to bless our kids and our ground, man. We don't need, but this is how you know we're not blessed, because we're not even in our own land. We in somebody else's land, man. The black dollar don't go to us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It go right back to the oppressor, man. Keep reading.
and the fruit of thy cattle,
and the fruit of thy cattle. Keep reading.
the increase of thy kind,
Uh-huh.
and the flocks of thy sheep.
So when they say the fruit of the ground, we ain't get none of the vegetables that we plant, and till the ground. We don't get none of the vegetation. We don't reap none of the benefits. When they say the cattle, we out here eating GMO. They're our cattle and our sheep. We ain't got cattle and sheep and lamb and goat no more. We out here eating GMO meat that they pumping with steroids. You go to KFC, they pumping that with steroids and GMO, genetically modified stuff, man. So we not blessed with our own animals, man. I don't know if y'all know, but before there was money, your currency was your animals, your livestock. You understand? Your sheep, your goat, your herd. We was the number one herders on the planet. You understand? We had plenty. People came to us to buy meat and food and vegetation. Now our ground ain't blessed because what? We got to go to Dole. We got to go slave at Dole. You understand? And give it right back to the oppressor. Keep reading.
Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Our basket is not blessed. They say, what is a basket used for? What is a basket? Does anybody know what a basket is used for? What you do when you go shopping? You put what? You put stuff in the basket. Our basket got a hole in it. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans basket got a hole in it. You ever heard somebody say, my pocket got a hole in it? Our basket that's where it comes from. And the Bible it's so enslaved. Blessed shall be thy basket, man. Your basket gonna be what? Full. That's what it means to have a basket if it's full. What's the use of having a basket if it ain't nothing in it? You understand? The Lord telling you, I want to bless all these things for you, but I can't do it if you're gonna be a disobedient son and daughter. Y'all know the word Israel mean son and daughter, or prince or princess of the power. We are princes and princesses of God, man. And guess what? Our king is black. His name is Christ. Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That's our king. He's the king of kings. You understand? He ain't that Caucasian brunette Matthew McConaughey looking dude that y'all think that's Jesus Christ that's hanging up in your mama and your grandmama's front room. That ain't no Christ. Christ is not a Caucasian. Okay? Keep reading.
Verse.
And they say, could you read that one again, Baba Kasha?
Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
So we know our baskets is empty, man. We got to get food stamps, man. We got to rely on another nation, man. You see, our baskets are not full. We can't grow our own food and herd our own cattle and sheep and make money off of it, man. Sell our goods to the other nation. We're not trading on a global level, man. You understand? Chinese are, Caucasians is. You understand? We not. We don't have nothing, man. Why? Because we're not blessed. But the Lord said he would bless us if we kept all his laws, statutes, and commandments. So what should that inherently tell us? What is the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments? How do I keep it? Where do I learn to keep it? Well, you in good hands today. It's called the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, man. You understand? This is how you learn. This is where you learn. This is a school. Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Not your Christian church or your mosque and the 7-day Adventists and all these other different religions and all this garbage, man. All religions, according to the Bible, are false, including Christianity. You understand? But it say, blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. What store? What is the store used for? You store goods. Or you own a business. You own businesses, man. Now, black people we own businesses. We got businesses, But who do we pay rent to in those businesses? So you don't really own it. They own you however you want to look at it. They own you. We just slaves in this place, man. Let's face it. We're not in our own land. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
Now, do anybody know what that scripture said? Type it in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all some seconds. Baba Kashak, could you read that again so they can get an understanding or try to, you know what I'm saying, give what they think it means?
Verse 6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
Do anybody know what that's talking about? Because the Christian church will tell you, blessed when you're coming in and going out into that Christian church. And then as soon as they leave out the Christian church, they fire up a cigarette. You see what I'm saying? How are you blessed when you just walked up out of that Christian church and fired up a Newport or a Virginia Slim? You're out there smoking Marlboros. Them cowboy killers. Man, do anybody know? I'm gonna give y'all a few more seconds before I give it to you for time's sake. Because we got a lot of scriptures to bring out. And for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to y'all, man. I don't know, I gotta get 3 more seconds. I don't know. That sister been on the road tonight. That sister been on a road. All right, for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to y'all. I'm gonna read it again. Well, could you read it one more time, Baba Kashaf?
6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
Blessed shall you be when you come in the world, when you're born. We're not blessed when we born. The Bible said we born into a what? A world of sin. Like if you was blessed coming in, you would automatically come out and here go your mom and them saying they love you and you so precious, but not in English. They'll be saying it in Hebrew. In our language, in our land, you won't come out speaking another tongue of a different nation. So they say blessed when you're coming in and when you're going out, guess what? You'll be blessed even when you're dying, when you die. You'll be an old man or old woman laying in your bed peaceful. You won't be dying because you won't be dying because STD and AIDS. You won't be dying because high blood pressure and diabetes and gout and your grandmama back and forth from the dialysis getting all the legs and arms cut off. That's how we die. You won't get shot by shot because you're selling drugs. You won't get your head blowed out, your brain blowed out. We're not blessed when we die. We dying a curse, a violent death, man. The Most High ain't playing with us, man. He said the wages of sin is death. We're not in the bed looking at all our grandkids that we done made and passing down, land to our children, man, our oldest son. We're not passing down things, man. We're passing down debt. We're not blessed when we go out when we die. When you gotta have a GoFundMe account. You die, what? Not Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. When we die, what you see on Facebook? A GoFundMe link. That ain't blessed. You're not coming in blessed if first set of hands you see, first set of hands your eyes see is a pair of Caucasian hands delivering you out your mama womb. You coming into the devil hand off top. They pulling you out of there when you're in the hospital. So blessed. Could you read that again so we can get some full understanding?
Verse
This is a beautiful thing to come in here and learn these scriptures, man. Because the Christian church would have never knew what that scripture means. Of course, they think it means blessed when you're coming in and going out of that whorehouse called the Christian church. Go ahead, read. Baba Kashaf.
Verse 6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in.
When you're being born. When you say when thou comest in, it means when you're being born. Keep reading.
And blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Man,
we not blessed when we born. We land in our mother's womb and weed smoke coming down the umbilical cord. pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster is coming down the umbilical cord. We're not blessed when we being born. She a damn alcoholic. We laying up in the womb, drunk as we high and drunk, laying in the womb. As the fetus is drunk, or whatever you call the little body that's in there. She out partying and twerking. You laying in the womb trying to get some sleep. Now you feel all kind of shaking. She out there twerking, pregnant. You ain't blessed when you coming in. We gonna get into the curses. But I mean, I just want y'all to see this, man. See this, man. Wake up, Israel. We gotta wake up, man. Keep reading about it.
If I could.
Add on
what you're saying with the scripture, Deuteronomy 28 and 6. Without comest in, without goest out, no matter if we obey the law, statutes, and commandments, no matter where we go, the Lord will be with us. I mean, regarding that and what you're saying, also regarding whether we buying or we selling, whether we coming or we going. No matter what we doing, if we obey the Lord, we'll be blessed and rewarded.
That's right. That's right. Get a brother a hand, man. Get that brother a hand. That's my brother right there. Always bringing out strong points, man. Strong points. You know what I mean? But we got to know that coming into this world and going out of this world, we're going to be blessed if we keep his law, statutes, and commandments. And everything in between the coming in and going out. You know what I'm saying? Because that all kind of falls in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. But keep reading, Baba Kashal.
Verse 7. The Most High shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee.
Say what? Read that again, Baba Kashal.
The Most High shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee.
Did we not go into slavery? Did we not come over here on cargo transatlantic trade ships? We were sold unto our enemies, man. It says our enemies is going to come up against thee. It's not the police out here killing our black sons. Are we not in fear to send our son to the store to get some cornmeal like Ricky on Boys in the Hood? Our enemies are rising up against us, man. It's not our women going to the Chinese nail salons and going to buy all that weed from these Chinese stores, and them Chinese people is beating the hell out of our women. Our enemies are rise up against us, man. They hate us in this place. Read it again from the top, Baba Kashal.
Verse 7. The Most High shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face.
So if we was to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, guess what? We wouldn't have never knew or tasted what slavery felt like. Well, we would have never had that whip across our back. We would have been whooping backs.
Well,
they would have been enslaved. They would have been in slavery instead of us. We would have been blessed. You know what I'm saying? The Most High would have fought for us when all our enemies came up against us.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what this is saying. He want to fight for us. He want us to be on top. But we got to obey his laws, statutes, and commandments, man.
That's right.
We don't want to obey him, man. We don't want to hearken diligently. We don't want to listen. We don't want to acknowledge. We don't want to observe. And we don't want to do what he's telling us to do, man. Is it so hard not to kill your brother? Is it so hard not to, love the other nations more than you love your own people? It ain't so hard to, not be a whore. It ain't hard. You just making it hard. You want to be a whoremonger. You see? It ain't hard, man. You want to get cirrhosis of the liver, being an alcoholic. You want to get cancer and you want your lungs to be blacker than this headpiece I got on from smoking. The Most High don't want us to live like that, man. He didn't call the children of Israel to be destroyed people like this, man. He didn't want blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be destroyed. Why else would he give us all these talents, man? I don't want to see a baseball game without Hispanics. I don't want to see soccer without Hispanics and blacks and Native Indians. Don't you know America would have lost damn near all their wars if we wasn't fighting in their wars?
Well,
What if we was fighting for our own army?
that's right.
What if we did that? And the Most High smit and he slew and killed and murdered all the enemies, our enemies that try to come up against us, man. Well, just what if that happened, man? If we kept all the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what he's saying he would have did. Keep reading.
Verse 7, the Most High shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways.
You see that? They would have been, if the Most High, if we keep the Most High, we'd have kept the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. They would have been scared as hell, so to speak, to try to come up against one of us, man.
Well,
now they just come up to think they can do whatever they want to us, man. Oh, he just a nigger. You see what I'm saying? They're nothing but rapists and murderers and drug dealers. Like we're nothing, man. You see? They don't. They beat our behind when they pull us over, man, for a broken tail light. Who was that brother they killed? They killed the brother for having a broken tail light. How did he end up dead, man? Because the Most High wasn't with him.
well,
The Most High will be against you if you disobey him, man. He'll cause your enemies to rise up against you, man, and overtake you.
yeah.
Keep reading.
So I got a precept if you want it, Shabbat y'all.
Let me get it. You already know Kayada War. I already know you coming heavy.
I think you know this one. I know you this one. No, I know you know this one right here, though. Exodus 23 and 22.
Man, let me get that. Let me get that.
They go into what? Oh, Salaki. I thought you were about Salaki. I thought you was grabbing the joint. They go into what you saying, right? First Exodus 23 and 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies.
Good night.
An adversary unto thine adversary.
Man, y'all hear that, man? If we listen to the Most High, he'll be an enemy to our enemy and an adversary to our adversaries, man. Meaning what? He'll fight for us, man.
Bruh.
We wouldn't have to lift a finger, man. Because why? We'll have our own military might. We'll be in our own land. You know what I mean? We'll be able to protect and defend ourselves, man. But the Most High makes sure that he'll see them trying to come across the water, the ocean, to try to, you know, they want some smoke with us, and he'll send a damn tsunami and drown every last one of them.
Wow.
Unless y'all forgot what he did to the Egyptians. Let's we forgot about them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, excellent precept, Kayada War. Excellent precept. Most High in Christ. We're gonna keep reading.
Verse 7. The Most High shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways.
See, they didn't come out one way and flee 7 ways. They came out one way, those Africans, and they rounded us up, man. And then our enemies came from 7 different ways and put us on them slave ships. The Africans sold the Israelites to the Caucasians, man, the Greeks, and all the other people who wanted to buy us, man. They didn't run from us; they ran towards us. Why? To put us in slavery. Why? Because the Most High we wasn't fighting for us. Keep reading.
Verse 8. The Most High shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses.
Now, storehouses. Do anybody know what a storehouse is made for or meant for? What is a storehouse meant for? Could you read it again from the top, Baba Kashah?
Verse 8. The Most High shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses.
So a storehouse is something that you store goods. You store goods. You know, you bring your goods into the storehouse and store them. Why would you do that? for hard times. Because we know the Most High is a terrible power, and he's been known to send famines on the earth. So guess what? He would have caused us to be so blessed. Our storehouse would have been so stocked up and full. When he sent famines to the other nations, guess what? They'd have had to come and buy food from us, man. Instead of us having to go to FEMA.
Sure.
We had to go to FEMA in Hurricane Katrina. Why? Because our storehouses was empty. They're not blessed. Why? Because we don't keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, man. Keep reading.
And in all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee.
Man, you hear what the brother read, man? It say he would have did what? Read that from the top again.
Verse 8, the Most High shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses.
That meaning we'll be fully stocked up with commerce, man. We'll be the sellers, man. We'll be, right, selling all the meats to the grocery stores and the different nations. Instead of us having to go, depend on the Caucasian race, man. Keep reading.
And in all that thou settest thine hand unto.
So what this saying right here, when it say everything you set your hand unto, meaning everything we touch would have turned to gold, man. Wow. If we would just keep the Most High law, statutes, and commandments. What's some of the law, statutes, and commandments? Not worshiping false gods, like celebrating Christmas and idols and pagan holidays and birthdays and eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, man. These some of the things he told us not to do, but we wanted to be like the other nations. So the Most High, he was like, okay, y'all want to disobey me? No sweat. I'm going to be against y'all instead of for y'all. Keep reading.
And he shall bless thee in the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee.
So that's how you know we're not blessed, because we're not even in our land that he gave us. What's the land that the Most High gave blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Israel, Jerusalem, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, parts of Saudi Arabia. All that's our land, and we don't even know it, man. They stole our land and our identity. Right. That's why there ain't no peace in the Middle East right now, because they over there all fighting over a land that don't belong to neither one of them, man. They fighting over our homeland. Keep reading.
Verse 9, the Most High shall establish thee an holy people unto himself.
You see that? Now, what do the word holy mean? It say the Most High shall establish thee a holy people unto himself. What is holy? What does the word holy mean, man? In other words, for time's sake, holy means separate, meaning we would have been totally separate from the other nations, man. They'd have had to come to us and get everything they needed. They'd have had to come get it from us. In other words, we'd have been ruling the earth, man.
Wow.
We'd have been ruling what shipments and who to put tariffs on. You know what I'm saying? The stock market, all that. We'd have been controlling all that, man. Instead of us letting these Caucasians rule over us like this, man. But we ain't want to keep none of the law, statutes, and commandments. So the Most High literally still punishing the children of Israel. We are the children of Israel. Whoa. If you so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you belong to the greatest people that ever walked the planet Earth. We descend from the Israelites, man. We are the Israelites. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. You understand? Keep reading.
If thou shalt keep the commandments of the
If thou shalt what?
Keep the commandment.
We got to keep the commandments if we want the Most High to be with us, man. So he can put us back above all the other nations, man. That's the only way. That's the only way. It ain't. You can't go out here and think you're gonna, obey your OG and your gang like you're gonna become above all the other nations doing what this dummy tell you to do. Unless y'all don't know, he telling you to go rob somebody. That's against the Most High commandments, man. He telling you to go beat somebody up without cause. That's against the Most High. You gonna do what this dude tell you to do? Man, how about you do what the Most High tell you to do, man? So we can get the hell up out this hellhole called America, man, and get our damn land back. Keep reading. Keep reading. Baba Kashal.
Verse 9, the Most High shall establish thee an holy people unto himself.
He established a holy people unto himself, meaning he gonna make us a different people from all the other nations. How do we know we different? Because we look at what they do and we be like, man, they are so stupid. Don't tell me y'all don't look at them Asians, how they eating them bat, cat, and rat, and dog. You be like, man, that's some Asian stuff right there. You see Caucasians do something, you be like, man, black people will never do nothing like that. Living in a trailer park with 30 broke cars out there with bush cans out, crushed bush cans out there in the yard. You know what I'm saying? That's something they do. You know what I mean? We got a car sitting out there on 26s. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, keep reading.
As he hath sworn unto thee, thou shalt keep the commandments of the Most High thy power, and walk in his ways.
And walk in his ways, meaning don't walk in the ways of these other nations, man. Don't celebrate no 4th of July. How you as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians gonna celebrate 4th of July when we were slaves when America broke away from Great Britain? That didn't have nothing to do with us, man. You understand? What you celebrating America's independence for when America is the one who enslaved your ancestors? And those who don't know, you're still a slave to this day. If you're living in somebody's land, working for them, all your money, you got to pay taxes to them. You're a slave. Who you pay your light bill, gas bill, phone bill, all that too. The Caucasian race, your slave masters. Keep reading.
Verse 10, and all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Most High.
See, look, and this is how you know we're not blessed, because we're not called by the name of the Most High. We're not called the children of Israel. We called niggas, spicks, and wetbacks, murderers, rapers, and gangbangers and drug dealers. We call Mexican and African American. That's not our name. God gave us a name, the children of Israel. Read that again from the top, Baba Kashab.
Verse 10, and all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Most High.
You see that? We don't even know that we are the children of Israel. That's how you know the Most High is against us. Keep reading.
And they shall be afraid of thee.
Man, listen, ain't nobody scared of us no more, man. They're not afraid of us. That's why they're able to put over 3 million Black and Hispanic men in their prison system, man, and put us on child support. You go to jail if you miss a $20 payment. They ain't scared of us. Why you think they kick in your door like they kicked in that girl's door and blew her brains out, man? What was her name? Breonna Taylor, man. Beautiful sister, man. If they was afraid of us, man, they wouldn't do nothing like that. You want to know why they're not afraid of us? Because the Most High is not with us. Why is the Most High not with us? Because we don't want to keep his law, statutes, and commandments, man. We want to be Al Capone. You know what I'm saying? We want to be Tony Montana. We want to be Cardi B and the biggest whores known to man. We don't want to be virtuous women. The men don't want to stand up, you know what I'm saying, and raise our, we don't want to raise our sons and daughters, man. We want to stick our penis in every hole that we see. I'll keep reading, Baba Kashal.
Verse 11, and the Most High shall make thee plenteous in goods. Plenteous.
Man, listen, we're not plenteous in goods, man. How we plenteous in goods and we don't own our own? We don't own nothing, man. We don't own those big ships, the ship cargo. We don't own none of that. That's how you be plenteous in goods. Everybody coming to buy from you. We're going to a Chinese store to buy weave from Chinese people. How backwards is that when our sisters is the best hairdressers on the planet?
Well,
they should be coming to buy stuff from you. Keep reading.
And the Most High shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body.
And your kids, even your kids will be blessed if the Most High was with you. The fruit of your body is your kids, your seeds. Keep reading.
And in the fruit of thy cattle.
You'll be selling meats to All the different countries. Keep reading.
And in the fruit of thy ground.
You'll be all the vegetables, apples, oranges, grapes, strawberry, wine, vineyards, all that. We'll own all that if the Most High was with us. Keep reading.
In the land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers to give thee.
In our own land, we'll have these on, but we're not in our own land. Now, right now, I'm giving y'all all the blessings that the Most High promised us if we kept his law, statutes, and commandments. But you best believe behind them blessings are the curses. Now the curses is going to explain to you the conditions that we living in right now. And we coming up on it. Keep reading, Baba Shah.
Verse 12. The Most High shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his season.
Man, the Most High make sure if we was in our own land, we'll get rain so our crops would grow. That we'll be, you know what I'm saying? And let me give you an example of this. Because remember when Joseph was in Egypt, Joseph was smart, man. The Most High was with Joseph, man. He caused them Egyptians to have to come buy from him. Matter of fact, let's go to it. Give me Genesis. Give me Genesis 41. We're going to read 55 through 57. I'm going to give y'all an example of what this scripture is talking about. When it say, the Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give thee rain unto thy land in the season. What that's saying, basically, he'll make it rain. Because you go over there to the Middle East right now, it's a desert over there. Africa, the Sahara desert. They're not plenteous in nothing. Why? Because the Most High ain't giving them no rain. Without rain, you can't grow what? Vegetation. So you can't be a world power if the Most High is against you. Well, you know he against the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we don't even got our own land. Go ahead. Oh, you got that?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41 and verse 55. And when all the land of Egypt was famished.
Famine means the lack of food. How do you get a lack of food? Because your food ain't no food or crop growing because you ain't got no rain. Or you ain't got nothing to plant it in there. You know what I'm saying? The Most High ain't with you. That's how a famine comes about. We're in the famine right now. I heard it was a shortage in chicken, which is why they're making these fake chickens with GMOs all in them, genetically modified and steroids all in them, because it's a shortage. But it's about to be bad. It's about to be a famine. I'm going to give you a small example of famine. Remember COVID-19 first hit? You go to the store, you couldn't find tissue and none. All the grocery store, the aisles was quite clean. That's a famine. You understand? Keep reading. Let's see what Joseph did. Joseph was an Israelite.
If we could give a big shout out to the brothers that fed the brothers down there in Texas.
Oh, damn right. Yeah, give a big shout out, man.
Right.
Damn right.
They went out there, fed the Haitians, or the Haitian brothers and sisters down there. They trying to deport the Haitian brothers and sisters. And the brothers went down there and gave them care packages.
That's an example of what this scripture said. Because we know in the ISUPK, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So the Most High done made it plenteous for us, so we able to go out and feed our people. For those who don't know what the brother talking about, when the Haitians was under that bridge over there in Mexico, in Acuna, we in the ISUPK, the priests and prophets, went down there and fed our brothers and sisters, man. They tried to turn us around at the border.
Whoa.
But we kept and we stayed with it. The Most High was with us so much so that we was able to get tons of pounds of food and clothes and water and toiletries out there to our people, man. The Haitians are the tribe of Levi. That's our people, man. They Israelites too. They don't know it. We know it. But that's a perfect example of what these scriptures bringing out. And it's about to show you what Joseph did, and that's exactly what we did here in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, man. Shout out to Captain of 10,000 Yatazak, man, out there in Houston, Texas, man, who spearheaded that, man, under the leadership of Commanding General Yohana, man. Big up to them, man. Yeah, you got that, brother?
Verse 55. And when all the land of Egypt was famished.
It wasn't no food. It was a food shortage. Read.
The people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians,
All the Egyptians. Now, Egyptians are Africans. Remember now, we was in the land of Egypt. Israelites was in the land of Egypt. We were slaves under the Egyptians. They enslaved us. The Africans enslaved the Israelites. So just black people are not the same people as Africans, in case you didn't know. Keep reading.
Go unto Joseph.
Go unto who?
Joseph.
You see that? Go into that Joseph was an Israelite. Keep reading.
What he saith to you, do.
Say what?
What, Salaka, go unto Joseph. What he saith to you, do.
You see what that African Pharaoh said to the Egyptians, his own people? He said, whatever that Israelite say, do what he say. In other words, the Most High, when the Most High wished you, can't nobody be against you. He in a whole nother people land, and they had to buy from him, man. They had to do what he said. They had to serve him, man. Just like in the ISUPK, man, listen, we make our oppressors serve us, man. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So we realize that we not gonna be slaves no more under these oppressors, man. You understand? We gonna serve our King Christ, man, and keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And guess what? He with us too. He freed them slavery chains off our mind, thinking that we got to celebrate some Christmas, thinking we got to celebrate some birthday. He broke those chains off our mind, those slave chains, man. Keep reading.
Verse 56. And the famine was over all the face of the earth.
And the famine was what?
Was over all the face of the earth.
So the whole entire earth had a food shortage, man. Watch what the Most High do when he be with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because he was with Joseph. Joseph was Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And Joseph opened all the storehouses.
He did what?
Opened all the storehouses.
Here we go. The Most High was with him so much so he obeyed the Most High. So the Most High allowed him to keep reading. It's gonna tell you. I ain't want to overdo it. Keep reading.
And sold unto the Egyptians.
And he did what?
Sold unto the Egyptians.
Man, he became the World Trade Center, man.
Bruh.
That go the first World Trade Center right there.
Mm.
You understand? America, the Twin Towers fell. I mean that's Caucasian business. It's a sad thing, but hey, that's their business. I remember my people when they did things like this, man. My people are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians found in this Bible, man. There go your first World Trade Center. Joseph in somebody else's land opened up the storehouses, and he did what?
And sold unto the Egyptians.
He was selling food to the Egyptians. And you know, when somebody in a lack of food or things like that, they're going to do what you tell. In essence, they become your slaves. So in his people being in slavery, he turned around and did something. He dared to obey the Most High, and the Most High was with him and made him slaves over the people who enslaved his people. You see what I'm saying? That's the power of the Most High. If you want me to make it come alive for you, the Most High will be with you if you come into the ISUPK and learn how to serve him correctly. He'll put you over the Caucasians, over the Africans, over the Chinese. You won't have to go to their stores and buy every corner store. You got Arabs or Africans or Caucasian. We be going to our own stores, man. Opening our own storehouses, selling to the heathens, man. We can, guess what? You know what that means, right? Inflation. We can sell that food. We can raise them prices on them heathens, man. They do it to us.
Wow.
You understand? Keep reading.
And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt.
That's 57.
Verse 57.
Okay.
And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph.
And what? And do what?
Home.
And all countries did what?
And all countries came into Egypt to
Man,
Joseph.
Everybody had to come to Joseph, man. All the other nations had to come to our people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children of Israel. We the Israelites. They had to come by from us, people from all the countries, man. I'm telling you, there is no equality in this Bible, man. Stop fighting for equality. In the ISUPK, we fighting for rulership over the whole planet Earth, man. We want the whole Earth back. We're supposed to be running it anyway. But the Most High took it from us. Why? Because we wanted to live like the other nations. We wanted to celebrate their Christmas. We wanted to celebrate their pagan holidays and act like them, man. Keep reading.
And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn. Because the famine was so sore in all lands.
You see that, man? Now let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 12. I might have to do a part 2 to this because this class, I've been bringing out all the blessings. So on the part 2, I'll bring out the curses, but I'm gonna make sure we get to about 14, 15. Then I'll bring out the curses next week, Lord allow. But we're gonna go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 12.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 12. The Most High shall open unto thee his good treasure.
Good treasure, man. The Most High, he said he was gonna open up to us, man. Who is the us? So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Keep reading.
The heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season.
You see that? These are the blessings that the Most High promised to the children of Israel. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. He'll cause your land to prosper so you can sell to the other nations, man. Instead of us, how we doing over here in America, the other nations is selling to us. We're on the bottom of society, so to speak. Keep reading.
And to bless all the work of thine hand.
Everything we touch will turn to gold, man. All the work that, matter of fact, and we won't even be doing all the work. We'll have slaves doing our work. You see, ain't we slaves doing the work for the other nations now? Well, guess what? We'll have the other nations as slaves doing our work. Get Christianity out of your mind, man. We're gonna have slaves, man. The Bible say, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. In other words, if you take a people into slavery, you're going into slavery. You and your people. That's the promise that God made to the saints, man. Who the saints? The Israelites. Who the Israelites? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are the children. We are the real Jews, man. This entire Bible is only for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. No other nation. Well, keep reading.
And to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt lend unto many nations.
You see that? We're going to be the lenders, man. Right now, what we got to do? We got to go to a Caucasian or somebody from a different race, mainly the Caucasian, to do what? To go get a loan for your mortgage. We got to go get a loan. They got to lend to us to start a business. We want to go do a little nail shop or something. We got to go get a loan. We got to pay all these student loans to go to school. We'll be the one lending out to other nations. Listen, in our kingdom, because our kingdom is coming. The Lord said, right. Our kingdom come. Excuse me. In our kingdom, a Caucasian come and borrow $100 from me, he's going to have to pay $500 back. I'm just telling you right. Hey, Most High in Christ, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit them where it hurts.
That's how they do us.
That's how they do us. You know, they charge all kind of interest rates and hidden fees and all this. So in essence, the more you go get a loan, you going in debt. Right. You see, that's how they do us, man. But in our kingdom, guess what? What goes around comes around, my guy. That's you understand? We're gonna get you good. Keep reading.
And thou shalt not borrow.
See, we won't have to borrow because we will be blessed, man. We wouldn't have to be, robbing Peter to pay Paul. You understand? We'll be so blessed The other nations that have to come lend from us, man. They have to ask us, can they have some money for some food? Can they have food? Can they have this? And can they have that? Well, we got to go up to the doggone food stamp agency and beg for some stamps. We got to go beg. Man, they gave us them doggone checks, man, them COVID-19 checks. Man, we was begging, man. It was sad, man. But we're going to be the one giving them COVID-19 checks.
Well,
and my check probably be about $2, $3. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being, I'm gonna be rough on them, man. I'm in Salakia. I mean, we you know, that's just what it's gonna be. Okay, keep reading.
Verse 13, and the Most High shall make thee the head.
Man, listen, the Most High will make us the head if we obey them, man. But we not the head in this place, man. We the nation that's not desired, man. Wow. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the nation of Israel. We are the nation that's not desired. They hate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. All the other nations hate us, man. You understand? We not the head. Who is the head of state? I bet you it's some Caucasian. Look at the president. The president, he's the head. When have we ever had a black president? I'll wait. And I dare somebody to say Obama, because he ain't black. He's a bone-eating African. That's not our people. You understand? Keep reading.
And the Most High shall make thee the head and not the tail.
You see that? He said he'll make us the head and not the tail, but we the tail and not the head. So we not receiving the blessings that the Most High promised us. And there's a reason behind that. Because we're not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, man.
Whoa.
Now, this class, you know, man, I wrote, okay, I was going to bring out the curses as well, but we running on time, so I'm going to just keep bringing out these blessings that the Most High promised. And next week, Lord allow, I'll bring out the curses. And then you will clearly see that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians fit Deuteronomy 28. Whoa. You're going to know for sure that that's talking about us in graphic detail. I mean graphic detail. Keep reading.
And thou shalt be above only.
And we shall what?
Be above only.
Man, we'll only be above, man. Above what? Above the other nations. Right. We'll never be beneath these nations. This is how you know we're not blessed, because we're not above only. We're beneath only. They'll give a couple niggas a check to do something like that little Nas X. They'll give him a check to act like he the biggest flamboyant gay homosexual on the planet. And guess what? He eating it up too. He eating it up. He on every platform, sashaying his little man. Listen, I'm gonna get up off that because it's making me upset. Go ahead.
Wearing that color purple.
Man, wearing purple like Prince, man. You know what I'm saying, man?
Inside shot.
He must learn from IUIC. Salakia. Keep reading.
And thou shalt not be beneath.
You see that? It says thou shalt not be beneath. But is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians beneath? Yes, we are. In Native Indians on reservation. Hispanics in barrios. Blacks is in ghettos. We beneath, man. Wow. Keep reading.
If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Most High thy power.
You see that? It say if that hearken mean listen. All thing we gotta do is listen to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, man. It's over 613 commandments. It ain't no just 10. You know what I'm saying? God commanded women to dress like ladies. Wow. Feminine, beautiful, dressed ladies, man. You can wear pants if you want to. There ain't no sin to wear pants. But what the Most High wants you to do is cover your funky behind. Wow. You don't want your titty lines showing in all your Facebook pictures. None of them. He don't want us brothers out here selling drugs to our own people, man. Wow. He don't want us smoking. See, all the things I just named, that ain't in the 10 Commandments. But God commanded us not to do these things.
Right.
That should tell you it's more than 10 right there. Keep reading.
If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Most High thy power, which I command thee this day to observe.
To what?
To observe.
To what?
To observe.
Go ahead.
And to do them.
So not only observe them, you got to do them too. What it means to do them? If you smoke, stop smoking.
Wow.
If you eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, stop eating it.
Wow.
If you're celebrating birthdays and holidays, stop. This day, stop. It ain't gonna be hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Just keep watching our classes. Come to class. Be around people who learned how to stop and actually stop, man.
Wow.
You're gonna lose some people, man. So what? So be it. Then you're gonna find out you're losing absolutely nothing. You're gonna gain these blessings that the Most High promised us. Read on.
Verse 14.
And
thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day.
But I thought the Christian church say the laws is done away with. What that say?
And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day.
Now, what's the words that he commanded this day? His laws.
Right.
The laws are not done away with. His laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Long story short, we got to keep them, man. You can't get around this. Get the hell out of that Christian church, man, before it's too late. When I say before it's too late, meaning before you die. It's a sin to go to the Christian church. When I say sin, I hate saying sin. You know what I mean? Because you've been hearing that word all your life, and it sounds so Christian. But to sin is basically being a criminal. You know what I'm saying? A sin is equal to saying a criminal. You're breaking God's laws. That make you a criminal to the Most High. You see? So basically, man, we gotta obey these laws, statutes, and commandments is what they're saying. Keep reading.
Right. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them.
And what that said is using your hands, man. Using your hands. And what happened before you use your hand? It's in your mind. You think about smoking that blunt or going to pop that whore, you know what I'm saying? And then what your left or your right hand gonna do? They go perform the action. They pick up their phone and text somebody, woman. Woman, you know you got a man, you trying to sleep with another man. You putting your hands to go do for wickedness, man. To break God's laws, man. You understand? To go after other gods and serve them. How you go after other gods? You celebrate holidays.
Right.
You're worshiping false gods if you celebrate holidays. You don't know it. You're unknowingly worshiping other gods, false gods. There's only one God, and that's the God of this Bible right here, man.
That's right.
And he's black. That's right. Well, don't worry about me saying it because the Bible says it. And that's a whole nother class right there. But God is black. Christ is black. The Israelites are black. We just been lied to, man. You understand? Baba Kashar, carry me back to verse 1. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. Because I'm going to show y'all what we just read when we read all those scriptures. So we can get context on what the Most High promised the children of Israel. Matter of fact, go to Deuteronomy 1 and 1. So we can get context on who we talking to. Then we'll go back to 28 and 1. And then that 28. Go ahead.
Shabbat, if I may, I got a precept for you if you want it. I don't know if you want it.
You know I want to carry out the roll. Let's go.
I already know what it is, right? And also, if I could too, before I get this precept, what you bringing out tonight is so heavy and so right in this, and that most of our people don't have no clue and no idea when we're talking about all these blessings that the Lord talking about blessing us with and giving us if we obey His voice and His law, statutes, and commandments. It's the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
If all of us, our people, our nation of people, so-called black people, Hispanics, Native Americans, if we all collectively obeyed the Lord, this place would be a paradise, man.
That's right. That's
the
right.
Kingdom of heaven if we all serve the Lord, and that's what those first verses are talking about, that if we hearken diligently unto the Lord, then we'll be blessed with all these blessings, and that'll be the kingdom of heaven.
Get that brother a hand, man. Get that brother a hand. Baba Kashaw, you got that precept? Let's get it.
It's a book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them.
Keep what?
Keep therefore and do them.
So we got to do something. To do something mean what? Action. That's an action word. That ain't just lip service. That ain't just, because you know the Christian church, what they say? I confess with my mouth and believe in my heart, now I'm saved. God said you got to do something, not just talking about it. You know what I mean? If you like Lil Nas X, guess what? You got to stop being a flaming homosexual. Keep going.
For this is your wisdom.
For what?
For this is your wisdom.
Uh-huh.
And your understanding in the sight of the nation.
In the sight of who?
In the sight of the nation.
I thought we was just we all just one human race, and we all supposed to just be alike.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Man, the other nations will see our nation of people and be like, surely the Most High is with them.
Right.
Why are we out here dying? Because y'all eating bat. God told us not to eat no bat.
Right.
They will be following us, man. Keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's how the earth get better. So it got to be in righteous rulership.
Man, right.
And right now it's in wicked rulership. It's ran by Caucasians. And in case y'all didn't know, I got to say this nice, bold, and loud. The Caucasian race, every Caucasian man, woman, and child is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's
you
right.
Understand? And we call them devil because devil means deceiver or liar. Who told us we was African Americans? Who told us God was white? Who told us Christ was white? The blonde hair, blue eye, homosexual. Who told us that? The Caucasian race did.
Whoa.
So that's the devil. That's the biggest liar on the planet. Caucasians. Who started World War I, II, and III? Who stole other people's land, killed them, and destroyed them? Don't the Bible say the devil come up to kill and steal and destroy? That's who the devil is. Now you guessed it, the Caucasians. Deuteronomy 1 and 1, Baba Kashaw, time's sake.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
This be the words Moses spake unto who?
Unto all Israel.
No, all white people.
All Israel.
No, all Africans.
All Israel.
All Arabs.
All Israel.
Listen, this is us talking to only all Israel. Like the Bible just said. If we were talking to all people, it wouldn't have said all Israel. It would have said all the earth. You see what I'm saying? So this Bible ain't for nobody but who?
All Israel.
All Israel. Who is the Israelites? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Israelites. We are the children of Israel. Now, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Because again, this class right here, I'm supposed to brought out the blessings and the curses, but next week, you know what I mean, we're gonna bring out the curses. And I'm glad it got done like this. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring out the curses, and we'll show y'all how we ended up in this hellish condition. And in case you don't know, when I say hellish condition, hell ain't a place you go to when you die. Hell is right here on earth, man. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is living in hell right now because the oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, the other nations that's on top of us, have oppressed us, man. They put us in slavery and made us forget our identity, man. They stole our identity and our land. That's a hellish condition, man. You understand? You got that, Ottawa?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
Again, that word hearken mean listen. And we know that it's talking to the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we just read it in Deuteronomy 1 and 1. So now we got context of who the blessings would go to. But not only the blessings, Next week we'll get into who the curses would go to, and you'll clearly see your grandmama, your auntie, your cousin, your mama and daddy in them curses. Keep reading.
Unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments.
To do what?
To observe.
Observe means to watch or acknowledge. Keep reading.
And to do all his commandments.
And to do all his commandments, meaning stop what you was doing, that thing that you was taught, and do this thing that he told us to do in his Bible, which was keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Now, I gave you an example of some of the law, statutes, and commandments, and I'll do it again. You cannot eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You cannot celebrate these pagan holidays.
Whoa.
You cannot celebrate birthdays. You cannot be a homosexual. You cannot have sex with your brother's wife. Sex is marriage. You can't have sex with her, man. She's married to him. Sis, if you having sex with a man, that's your husband. You can't have sex with another man, period. You understand? These are just some of the examples, because I know we not taught these things in the Christian church, man. They tell you to wait. You got to get married, then have sex. When the Bible says sex is marriage.
Wow.
You see? You can't go stealing from you. You can't kick door your brother, man. You can't kick his door and steal his goods, man. You understand? You can't rob people, man. You can't gang bang. You gang banging against your own goddamn people, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't harm your brothers and sisters, man. You understand? We can't dress like whores, man. Women, you can't be no lesbian and dress like a damn man. Brothers, you can't be no transsexual and dress like a woman. Walking up the road with a size 18 heel on. Keep reading. Keep reading.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now, equal to all nations.
Above all nations of the earth.
Now, let's just fight for equality.
Above all nations of the earth.
Man, this sound like God does not believe in no equality. And
Right.
Guess what? He don't.
That's right.
They tell you, them Caucasians tell you to go vote to fight for equality. We've been voting what? 50 years, 60 years. What has changed? Y'all know it's a sin to vote? It's a sin to put a heathen above you.
Right.
If you're not black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, it's sin to put another nation above you. We got somebody above us, our king. And he just so happened to be the King of Kings. You understand? His name is Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. The greatest black man that ever walked the face of the entire earth, man. Could you read that again from the top, man? Because this class, it was about the blessings, man. So it's telling you, I'm going to bless you and put you above all nations if you do something. Keep all my commandments, man, and do them. And I'm gonna have the brother read it one more time for the ones in the back, man. Because this for the Christians that love to say, man, we living under grace. Grace means time period. You gotta know God giving you enough time to come back to his law, statutes, and commandments, man. But if you're not gonna do it, you're going to die, man. He's going to put you to death.
Wow.
That's just a fact. Christians love to say the wages of sin is death. But what about this, Christian? What is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law.
Wow. So
you must keep the law. Keep reading again from the top, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
Matter of fact, after we read one, we're gonna read two, and then we're gonna clip the class.
God. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
If you shall listen, hearken mean listen, read.
Unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe.
To watch, to acknowledge, read.
And to do all.
And what?
And to do.
And to what?
And to do.
We got to do something. And that ain't going raising your hand in some church talking about I'm saved, sanctified. Hold up, tie my bow tie. Here's the kashi.
That's a lie.
Speaking, talking about you speaking in tongues. That's voodoo, man.
Well,
The speaking in tongues just simply means you speaking in a different language. If I start speaking Spanish right now, I'm speaking in a different tongue. But some kind of way, Christian church thinking, that's speaking in tongues. You look like a damn fool, literally. Keep reading.
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations.
Man, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. The Lord telling the children of Israel, because in Deuteronomy 1:1, he said Moses spake to all Israel. So we know that this is talking about Israel because it's in the book of Deuteronomy. Anytime you read, you want to read, you know what I mean, get context so you can know who's talking and who they talking to, the audience. You know what I'm saying? This is a school, so we teach, you know what I'm saying, what context is. You know what I mean? But this right here said that he'll set thee above all nations of the earth. So he would put the children of Israel, which are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, above all the other nations. That's all that means. Take the Christianity out your mind. Break that chain of slave, of Stockholm syndrome. Stop loving and kissing the Caucasian man behind, man, so much.
Well,
Now, no matter of fact, we don't do it at all in here. We don't kiss no Caucasian behind. We do got a boot to put in it, though. You know what I mean? If they cross that line, we make them kiss our boots. That's biblical too. I mean, they come on. They humiliated us way worse than that. They used to chop our rods off, man, and put it in jars and put it on display. We make them kiss our boots, man. Why? Because we know that they're beneath us, man. They just said it right here. They'll set thee on high above all nations. They beneath us, man. Bottom line. And now let's get number 2, verse 2.
Salakia Shabayala.
God.
They willingly get on their knees and kiss our boots.
Damn right. They willingly.
Yeah, we don't
damn
make
right.
them
Go ahead.
So we don't make them do anything. They willingly do it. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, they willingly do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and what makes them want to do it? Because we bring these scriptures out and they feel shame, man.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by make. Like, we don't literally grab them and kiss. No. We make them do it because we make them feel ashamed for what their forefathers done to our forefathers. Like the scriptures say. Before we even get the boot kiss, we say, is there anybody out? We specifically talking to the other nations right here.
Well,
y'all feel sorry for what? Do you feel sorry for what your ancestors did to my ancestors? They'll say yes. Whether it's something in the Bible say that you must do. Must, M-U-S-T, must do. You understand? And they do it willingly, like the brother said. But back to verse 2, Baba Kashai.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee.
And all these what?
Blessings shall come on thee.
Man, all these blessings. We just went through all the blessings. We read from 28:1 all the way to 14. You understand? Next week, we're going to read about the curses that come on you if you don't keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Go ahead, read.
And overtake thee.
And what?
And overtake thee.
I don't know about y'all, but I want to be overtaken by blessings.
Well,
I want to be overtook with an overflow of blessings. You understand? Now, Christians love to say, you know, them sing them gospel songs, man. I want overflow. God, increase my territory. You think God gonna increase your territory when you just had sex with every man in the church? The pastor up there talking about enlarge my territory. Didn't you just get finished having sex with that flaming homosexual choir director? Listen, I'm off of it, man. And with that, You ain't got the prayers, do you?
La.
Okay, well, with that, we're gonna go ahead and clip the class. Get a Lord a hand. Hey, the water to you. Hey, Yabashkata, Officer Kayana War.
Y'all about me up Shabakata.
All right, I'm gonna read the school announcements. That's the end of the class. I thank y'all for tuning in, the brothers and the sisters. We're gonna read the security announcements. 1 second. All right. Get there. All right. We are the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandments. Numbers 18:21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashur. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for a priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We just closed, just yesterday, we closed the, hold on 1 second. I'm getting it. We closed the Feast of Tabernacles. So let's get a Lord a hand for that. You know what I'm saying? These are actually our high holy days that the Lord gave us to observe and do and keep, you know what I'm saying, throughout our generations. But our next holy convocation will be Feast of Dedication, HaKanukah. The Feast of Dedication, and that's HaKanukah. All right? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Amijam, which means to stand, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and the English. In the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Taba'ah, Batzaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratzah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, the Thunanawa, the Kum, Cow, Yawan, Wasalakanawa, Kabawatinawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Walaa, Tabiahanawa, Banasaya 1, a ball, Hawashanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Watapara, Waiwalamya, Aman. Now we're going to say it in the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. I'm the teacher, so I'm just salute on out to the brothers. Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shabbarakatah. Class Yazmatah, class dismissed.